right, welcome to a special mini episode of Piecing It Together, the podcast where we take a look at a new movie and try to figure out what movies inspired it. But today on the show, we've just got this quick little mini because I just got back from my first time at the movie theater since March of 2020. Of course, because of the whole pandemic and everything, I had not returned, but I'm vaccinated now, and we have been planning this for weeks. We went back to see Godzilla vs. Kong, which is really one of my most anticipated movies of the last few years anyway, but just the idea of going back to the theater for the first time after all this time to see that, it's just an amazing thing. And I'm not sure yet if we're going to do a full episode on it. I'd love to. I haven't scheduled anything because of the strangeness of this whole situation, but what I did do is after we left the theater, I sat down with my parents to talk about Godzilla vs. Kong and the experience of going back to the theater, and it's about as ridiculous as the other times I've had my parents on, so that's coming up here in a second. But as always, I want to remind you to make sure you're subscribed to Piecing It Together wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on social media at Piecing Pod, and don't forget about our Facebook group, Popcorn and Puzzle Pieces. And, of course, this is not a regular episode, so if you're just randomly joining me for the first time and hear this isn't what the show normally is. But I hope you enjoy it anyway, and then check out some of our other episodes. And let's get into that conversation now about Godzilla vs. Kong. All right, so we just got back from seeing Godzilla vs. Kong, and I'm sitting here with my parents. How you guys doing? Just playing Words with Friends.
Wait, I'm getting rid of it. Hold on.
We are doing fine, thank you.
Getting rid of it. We're doing fine.
And thank you for buying the tickets.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That was awesome. We had the best seats in the house.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Not your own seats, but there's somebody
No,
else's
we were
seat.
in the handicap section.
Mm-hmm.
It was delightful.
Well, I got a few questions to ask you guys, and so we'll go through them and talk about the movie along the way. But first things first, we'll start with you, Mom. Were you Team Kong or Team Godzilla going into this?
Everybody that knows me well knows that I was an enormous fan of Godzilla. I probably saw almost all his movies. So I love King Kong, and he was great.
He had no balls.
He reminded me of, I think, Cyrus in Return of the Planet of the Apes, like that. He had too much of a beard. The other Kong was neatly shaved.
Is that your take your pill alarm?
Yeah, no, I'm always Godzilla forever.
All right, what about you, Dad?
Always King Kong.
All right, that's
always,
what I was too.
He was always able to put me to sleep every time I saw one of his movies.
There's that too.
And I gave away all my Godzilla figures, remember? And I even had a Godzilla curtain, and I gave everything to my great nephew Eli Pergola. I had some really nice figurines there, not little tinies, but big guys. Yeah.
Did you keep any of it?
Nope, gave it all to Eli.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, along the same lines, do you have a favorite either Godzilla or King Kong movie before this?
Oh, I always like the originals, the first ones. Yeah. Oh, always. I'm down with that. Black and white.
Godzilla?
Which was 1954.
I don't even remember the first Godzilla.
The
first Kong with Favor A?
Mm-hmm.
That I liked.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And there was also a Son of Kong.
Yeah. Which was 9 months later, believe it or not.
Yeah, and it didn't get that much.
No, it didn't do well. No, not at all. And I think maybe I've seen Godzilla with Mechanic Godzilla before, and with Mothra, and a couple of other guys.
Godzilla, I would never want to see.
I knew they were putting
terrible.
him together. I had that feeling. I said, "Oh, this is bad. It's Mechanic Godzilla, and there's going to be shit going down."
And King Kong is real.
Yes,
Godzilla.
well, he's a monkey. He's a monkey, you know.
But this is an electrical.
Yeah, it's a robot. I don't like robots. I don't do robots. I don't do sci-fi.
And that little kid was gorgeous.
Oh, what a little doll.
Good. I wanted to buy a
Oh, is she cute? She was adorbs, the little girl.
Well, forgetting about Mechagodzilla for a second, did you guys see the original King Kong versus Godzilla?
Most likely, but I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either.
I can, if you want, I can show you a couple of. Dad has a brand new Godzilla movie for me in the bedroom. As a matter of fact, that he brought me.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
probably from the last 30 years. Should I go get it while
No.
you talk to Dad?
No, don't do that.
Okay.
We don't need to see it. There's a lot of them, and most
Oh,
of them
God.
are not that good. But
No. And Mothra, I watched that just 2 weeks ago, and it wasn't translated. It was all subtitles. But I enjoy it. And, she was protecting her babies.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well, this movie. Oh God, Charlie's pissing during
He'd
this.
say, "Oh, look at it! That was a long whiz for a little dog."
Good boy, Charlie.
Yes, Charlie.
Good boy.
Pet
So
Lulu.
this was all of our first time back to the theater in a long time because of COVID.
Yes.
Was this a movie you would have picked to go see back in the theater, or did you just go
Good
because
boy.
I made you?
Good boy.
I might have gone to see it in the theater.
I
I just
would not have gone. To
I just
No.
don't like it. It had a little bit of sci-fi shit in it, and I really
I
hate.
want to.
Don't the other ones that you like?
No, I hated the last one that I saw with
Yeah,
you.
the last one's
I hated
terrible.
that was awful.
Vin Diesel's coming back with
I can't wait.
John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Please. Yeah. No, I might have seen a few of the Godzillas in the movies. I really don't remember.
Well, I think the last 4 or 5 movies you went to see with me were big monster movies.
Oh, it shows that my brain is getting smaller and smaller with age. It's shriveling up.
Well, what do you think, setting aside how much you liked the movie, we'll get to that in a second. How much do you think this movie delivered on the premise of Godzilla fighting King Kong?
I would have liked a few more fight scenes, but the ones that were there were completely epic. And I don't know how they did it, if it's that CGI shit or whatever, but I loved the fight scenes. A couple more wouldn't have hurt.
Mm-hmm. What about
I
you?
kind of felt sorry for King Kong.
Of course.
Yeah, well,
You
he's
know,
got
and-
humanity
and
to him.
Right.
That I fell asleep.
And he got a phone call in the middle of
I
the
got a phone
movie.
call,
So,
didn't I?
that sort of stops things a little bit.
Some guy from Florida called me up.
Well, aside from falling asleep, what was your favorite part about the movie?
When the girl from Stranger Days
Mm-hmm.
makes her her eyes wide like this.
No, I was waiting for, I'm not allowed to talk about the ending.
You can.
Yeah, I was waiting for a fist bump. I would have loved that. It
Mhm.
would have just
Fist bump from him.
no at the end. Godzilla and King Kong. I
Who
tell
does-
you.
who does the fist
You
bump?
said to me, "Who's that with the building?" And I said, "Oh God, they're building Mechna Godzilla." Oh my God! And then at the end, I said to you, when he was down, Kong, and he was really down, and he was wheezing and shit. And I said to you, "Oh, get ready, he's coming back, and he's gonna save Godzilla's ass, real Godzilla," and he did.
Dad, what do you think a fist bump is?
Fist bump. I don't want to say it on the air.
Oh God!
Well, I think we all knew that they were gonna team up one way or another.
Yeah, there'll be another sequel. The music was a little bit. I thought the music was a little bit much. It was wonderful, yeah, but it was like shattering, and there was enough action on the screen that they didn't have to try so hard.
Oh, okay.
It was. I won't say anything dirty, but it was like, come on, give me a break.
So the music was maybe your least favorite part of the movie, would you say?
No, the humans were the least
Oh.
favorite part, actually.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I would say that this is some of the best human story they've had in one of these movies in a long time,
I
because
agree,
that's
I
usually
agree,
the worst
I
part.
agree.
Do you even remember any of the story elements from the last few Godzillas or King Kongs? They're
I
all
didn't see
terrible.
Godzillas. I didn't like Godzilla.
I'm sure you saw them. But what about the more recent ones? You didn't go to any of those?
No.
What about the last King Kong? Do you remember that Kong Skull
Oh, wait,
Island with John
I
Goodman?
liked it. I liked it. Which one was it?
John Goodman was in it.
Isn't
and
that the
Samuel
Peter
Jackson.
Jackson? The
Yeah,
Peter
yeah,
Jackson
on the
one?
island.
That was the last one.
They were on
before
the
that.
island, right?
I
Yeah, I
loved it.
like that. I like
The
that.
Peter Jackson one was great.
Oh, yeah.
I love that one. Yeah, that scene where he comes flying out. It's almost like that was what they were trying for, I think, in this movie. A lot of 3D kind of stuff without 3D. It was so much dimensional.
Would you have
things.
liked it in 3D?
Yeah, I could. The only other one I've seen in
That
the
would have
last
been interesting.
10 years in 3D is probably Piranha 3D, which, of course, those movies stand in a class by themselves. The
Oh, yeah.
Piranha series.
Well, those are definitely movies that were inspired by the originals. of
Yes,
these.
absolutely.
Well, I think we kind of got the point of what you guys thought of the movie, but any closing thoughts on the movie itself? And then I'll ask you a couple other things.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and comfortable seats, good popcorn.
How about you, Doug?
Well, it was very noisy for somebody who wanted to sleep.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they had enough of action going on,
Mm-hmm.
to make it a good kiddie movie,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
but
consider it an adult movie.
children could see that, can't they?
Sure, maybe.
I think so. I would take my kid to see it.
You did.
There you go.
Well, what did you think about being back to the movies after all this time?
I felt pretty good about it.
I felt pretty good about it too.
Yeah, I was sorry I didn't have any sanitizer in my pocketbook.
But the Fay Ray thing with King Kong,
Mm-hmm.
that was a finger.
Okay.
They were supposed to beat that in this movie. It was supposed to be something similar. What was similar?
Well, he's got the little kid that he communicates with. That was kind of the thing.
A little different.
It is a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that little kid.
Did you like being back to the theater, though?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
I
Yeah.
did, and especially having my son buy tickets, and especially that the theater was less than half full was delightful.
Yeah.
And there were no tall giraffes in front of me. Yeah, it was very comfortable. Shut up, Charlie.
Hey, shut up.
Charlie, you're being noisy during the podcast.
His eyes are not right, Dave.
Well, any last words before we close this up?
Now, I thank you for getting our tickets, and I thank you for picking me up, and I thank you for getting your dad's car so you didn't have to walk extra. And overall, I would give the movie on a scale of 10 about an 8.5.
Okay.
So I would say yes, I enjoyed it.
What about you, Dad?
Well, I give the movie, I was going to say a 5.8, but no, about an 8.
Yeah.
About an 8, yeah. I wouldn't give it a 9 or anything close to it. How about you?
I'm leaning towards 8.5 or 9.
Jana?
I loved it.
I like the monster, the
Gina?
other
Well, I'm
monsters too.
technically not on this show.
Yeah, Gina's not here right now. Well, that's it for Godzilla vs. Kong. But since me and Gina, our next trip to the theater is probably going to be to see Nobody. Dad, why don't you quickly tell us what you thought of Nobody? Because I know you just watched it. yesterday.
I loved it. I thought it was like a takeoff on
It was supposed to be like John Wick.
not John. I was
Yeah,
thinking,
that the same
I
premise.
was thinking the guy from
Okay.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
From what
Which
movie?
Die Hard?
Die Hard.
All right.
I thought it was a Die Hard type movie. I love those type of movies, and I liked him.
Everyone likes Die Hard, but the first 15 minutes of Nobody,
Yeah.
I have never seen anything more boring in my entire life. I would rather watch, as the late George Carlin said, I would rather watch flies fuck than ever see the first 15 minutes of Nobody again.
But it got better from there?
Rest in peace, George.
You know,
A little better, not
I
much.
wouldn't mind seeing flies fuck, but I
It sounds
thought,
very boring.
Oh my God!
no, we're
Coffee.
talking about horse flies.
He's going to work and coffee, and he's going to work and coffee, and he's on the bus and
Yeah,
coffee.
but you'll like it, Dave.
Yeah, very
That's
artsy
good.
fartsy,
I like coffee.
boring shit.
We
like-
like artsy.
you like
fartsy,
coffee,
though,
you
me and
said?
Dave.
Yeah, well,
The hell are you
talking about
talking about
coffee.
He was so boring. I knew something was going to happen. I'm not stupid. I knew something, but it was just.
Did he have a big role in Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I thought so.
Pretty
but-
big.
I didn't see it. Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
I
that's
never
where
got
he became a
into it.
star from that
That's
thing.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So.
I think you're gonna like it.
I can't wait.
You're gonna like it.
Bleh.
All
And you're
right.
going to the theater for that
Oh, hell yeah.
instead of like on demand?
Hell yeah.
Oh my God! You're going to fall asleep watching him make coffee. Well, I drink.
That's funny the way that it has gone around to this, where you got a choice now to see it on TV
Mm-hmm.
or to see. That's
Yeah,
very.
that
bad
is-
And what do
That's-
you
theater.
choose?
I choose TV.
Because he
Really?
can sleep and then rewind. Sleep, rewind.
I choose TV series, binge watching TV series.
Yes.
Because it's like a
Yes.
long movie, and I
Yes.
don't understand why Dave
Yes.
isn't more
I'm
into
still
television.
watching a Japanese one that I've been
Okay.
watching for 4 weeks already. Right?
How many
I can't
ep-
believe it.
How many episodes?
14.
Is that was it like a sci-fi?
He tried
Yes.
to watch the
Like,
show.
Yes, they come back in the
Them,
future.
and
they come
the
back.
show
Okay.
Them on
One girl
Amazon,
comes back.
and
I know.
he watched
She
5
never
episodes.
saw
He
it?
didn't realize there's 10.
I think I might have
There's
seen
10
the
episodes,
trailer.
and he doesn't believe us that it keeps going.
I've seen the commercials for it. Yeah.
For what?
Nothing. All right. Thanks, guys.
It was wonderful. Thank you again.
Hi, this is Wax Trax Records here on 2909 South Decatur. We buy all your old 45s, your old albums, any type of music memorabilia. Also, we sell music memorabilia, albums, CDs, and a lot. Come on down to Wax Trax, 2909 South Decatur, or give me a call at 702-362-4300. Thank you very much.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed that conversation with my parents about Godzilla versus Kong. Make sure to check out our King Kong episode that we did just recently to get a more full understanding of what we do here on Piecing It Together. But we do love to have my parents on every once in a while to just chat about movies and get their wonderful thoughts here on the show. So thank you to them for joining me, and thank you to you for listening. So that does it for today. Like I said, I'm not sure yet if we're going to do a full Godzilla versus Kong episode, but make sure to check out our King Kong episode where we talk a lot more about King Kong, because I am, of course, Team Kong. I don't care what happens in this movie. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to an episode on it. And make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on social media at Piecing Pod. Join our Facebook group, Popcorn and Puzzle Pieces. And let's close this out with a piece of music like I always do, even though it's just a quick little mini episode. I'm going to go with this track, Creation, from my most recent album, David Rosen. So enjoy Creation. Check out the album wherever you listen to music. And we'll be back with more Piecing It Together coming up real soon.
An All Points West production, produced by David Rosen in Las Vegas.